Welcome to the South Ops Fire Weather Webcast for Friday, April 11th. I'm your host, Kristen Stewart. Another fabulous and warm April day is on tap for Central and Southern California today. Aside from some fair weather high clouds streaming in across Central California, visible satellite imagery this morning indicates mostly clear skies across the board as strong high pressure remains in place. The marine layer is very shallow again this morning, so low clouds are limited to the coastline from Long Beach to San Diego. Expect lots of sunshine today with another round of much above normal temperatures. High pressure over the western U.S. is expected to remain strong today, but weaken slightly over yesterday. This will lead to slight cooling of around 1 to 3 degrees across the region, most pronounced near the coast. Despite the cooling, high temperatures will remain well above normal today, with valleys ranging in the 80s to low 90s. The low desert will be quite hot, with highs around 100 degrees. It will remain cooler and more comfortable near the beaches and across the lower mountain elevations, with highs in the 70s. With a very shallow marine layer in place, humidity will remain on the lower side across the majority of the area, with higher humidity limited to the coastline. Minimum humidity will largely range around 15 to 30%, except lower in the deserts, with minimums in the single digits. The weather pattern over the next 7 to 10 days will be quite benign, with no major issues. High pressure over the western U.S. will gradually weaken through the weekend, giving way to cooling temperatures and a deepening marine layer. Most forecast projections indicate that weak high pressure will remain over the region through much of next week, though there remains uncertainty as to how much influence there will be from a weak trough and a couple cutoff low pressure areas nudging in from the Pacific. Despite the uncertainty, there should be little in the way of meaningful impacts next week, other than a persistent deeper marine layer and more seasonable temperatures. Temperatures will cool down several degrees this weekend, but still remain quite warm and a few degrees above normal. The forecast high temperatures for Sunday are shown here and indicate that the valleys will largely be in the 80s this weekend. Temperatures near the coast will likely cool further mid to late next week, with temperatures falling closer to seasonal normals, with valley highs in the 70s. The interior will remain warmer due to the lack of the cool ocean influence. Humidity will likely increase a little this weekend and remain steady through next week, with minimums around 20 to 40% away from the marine layer, except in the single digits and teens across the deserts. The marine layer is expected to deepen this weekend, with more widespread low clouds expected, which would allow for higher humidity to spread across the coastal plains. The deeper marine layer will continue through next week. With the breakdown of the high pressure, a steadier onshore flow pattern will develop through Saturday. Breezy westerly winds are expected through Saturday, particularly across the mountains and deserts, where gusts of 25 to 40 miles an hour will be common. Some of the typically windier areas will likely gust in the 40 to 50 mile an hour range. Otherwise, winds will be mostly light through the period, with terrain-driven breeziness across the mountains and deserts. With high pressure largely remaining in control, dry weather is likely to continue through next week. However, the cutoff areas of low pressure that are drifting offshore may bring chances of scattered light showers next week, particularly for the mountains. These cutoff low pressure areas are notoriously difficult to forecast, so their evolution and movement remains uncertain. Dead fuel moistures will remain on sharp downward trends the next few days, and in some cases will be near record dry territory by this weekend and early next week. While that is notable, it is not a significant concern this time of year, as even the record dry values are still well above critical levels, and most of our fuel load is in the live category. Nonetheless, it does indicate abnormally dry conditions, which at this time of year can often be favorable for prescribed burning. Large fire potential will remain very low overall through the period due to continued greenup, with most low elevation grasses still at least a couple of weeks away from curing, and with many species nearing their seasonal peak in live fuel moisture. However, the warm weather may bring some increase in initial attack the next few days, with some potential for fire spread in the deserts on breezier days, as we have begun to see a modest uptick in desert fire activity. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for tuning in. Our next webcast will be on Monday, April 14th. Have a fantastic day.